Hello and welcome to another special episode of GoodCast. Today we're going to be catching up with Mark Fishback, our Vice President of Contracts and Facilities, to talk about the recent release of his Thank You Goodwill video. For 35 years, Mark has empowered adults with disabilities with a passion for his community while leading a rock star life. You can learn all about his nonprofit and musical career by going to thankyougoodwill.org, but for now, let's see what Mark has been up to.
Maybe I'll just ramble.
That'll work too.
I think I'm better at just rambling than I am with planned.
When did we show that video? I gotta look it up. I've slept since then.
Well, it came out the day they had the little gathering in the boardroom.
That's
whatever day that was.
Mm-hmm.
Late October, I guess.
Right. So, what was your initial reaction when Shay told you that we were gonna have this big party for your video?
Well, I was obviously shocked first, and then a little embarrassed because I am introvert, and I never really expected to have a big deal about me. But then after I started thinking about it, I thought, well, 35, 36 years is a long time, and it's something that I should be proud of. So I really had an emotional turnaround, and now when I think about it, I think, well, yeah, great. I have been here 35 years, and it's been awesome.
I know she didn't show you like any of the edits throughout. Like you just got to see the finished product. Is that weird as like a creative person yourself? Like, if you're ever recording a track, do you listen to it 100 times before it's done, or do you just?
Oh, sure, yeah. There's everything. There's a lot of stuff that ends up on the floor, editing floor, in music and in preparing movies and videos. So I was, I don't want to say I was shocked, but I was elated that it came out as well as it did. I think you guys did a great job in all my ramblings that we did through the day of taking out what needed to be said and what didn't need to be said. And I still look at it today and thinking, you guys did an awesome job.
Have you shown the video to anybody?
Yes, I have.
Okay, who's seen it?
I've shown it to obviously to my mom. Brought her to tears, just because of my brother and that kind of thing. But I really didn't have to show it to anybody. After it came out, for some reason, it just got out, and that was one thing that really surprised me. I really didn't think anybody outside the agency would ever have access to it, but obviously it did. Somebody somewhere posted it somewhere where it wasn't supposed to be, and all of my non-coworkers have seen it. It's passed around with all my outside friends that I have.
All right, I heard you've gotten a number of texts about your billboard specifically.
Oh yeah. The billboard was awesome. At first, when I first saw it, like I said, I was nervous first thing, but then 3 or 4 days later, I started talking about it a little bit. Hey, have you seen this? To a few close friends. I said, look what they did for me for my length of service. And then from there, it just exploded. And now everybody has a picture of it on their phone. And I've even, as of 2 days ago, another friend texted me with a picture of it that he was driving down 121. Said, "Is this you?" So I'm getting a lot of publicity from non-Goodwill people, and that's kind of neat. It's just not a lot of Goodwill people knew or know that I do play music on the side. And a lot of my music friends now know that I do this during the day. So I kind of merged the two together, which I've been not wanting to do for 35 years, trying to keep the two lives separate. So.
Right. Yeah, it's easier for some folks to compartmentalize than others.
But that's been the major change of the whole video and the billboard, is that I feel like I'm not hiding anything from either one of my sets of people that I hang around. So.
Right, for sure. with the theme of the video, we chose a word for each person this year. Your word was legacy. So what do you want your legacy to be?
I think that in this day and time with people looking for work and employment, and I think that my legacy I would like to be is I started out as just a regular floor supervisor sitting next to them, and I didn't make a lot of money. I had no skill at the time. I was just looking for work, and I enjoyed doing that. And I'm hoping that my legacy is, yes, if you can come to Goodwill, doesn't matter where you start, you can finish at Goodwill.
Awesome. That's it. That's all the questions. Real short and sweet. Yeah, I think that was awesome.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you so much for listening to this episode, and thank you to Mark for speaking with me. Once again, you can see Mark's full story by going to thankyougoodwill.org. We're currently in the process of moving our headquarters by the time you're listening to this, so be on the lookout for our next episode, which will be recorded from our brand new studio. We'll see you next time. You have been listening to GoodCast, a podcast produced by Goodwill North Central Texas. To stay up to date on all things Goodwill NCT, be sure to check out our social media and sign up for our newsletter. And if you have a second, we'd appreciate it if you could share the show with a friend or leave us a review on iTunes. It is the fastest way to help the show grow. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you find podcasts.